I don't know. Maybe I should think about this. What should I do? What should I do? This is stupid. Let's just chat. So yeah, this is a fun series and I love it. I love the idea of it. I love the idea of sort of like creating this like battle, but it's war with who's gonna ask who out first. I thought love was just like two people know each other, they accept it, they acknowledge it, and then that's done. But apparently I've been doing love wrong. Apparently it's a war, so if you acknowledge it, you lose. Which is very confusing, and I am excited if what's going to happen, because obviously there's a season 2, which is not going to come out for a while. But I don't know what this means. I am very confused. And I don't know. It's very weird. In fact, like, I know it's here, I know this is a thing, but it's just very odd. I love it. But, you know. The one thing I love, should be a non-spoiler, but I'm going to say it anyway, is I like the idea where it's like, and this person loses. And I like the fact that it's not an episode. There's a couple of times where like there's storylines bleed into each other. But I love the fact that it's like, here's something, here's another thing, here's another thing. And I love all of this. And I love how it interacts. And I love how they're going to be like, oh, here's something, and then here's another. That I love. I also like that the finale one is a whole one. So they don't mind doing full episodes and half ones. And it's really interesting about like, ooh, who's going to do this and who's going to do that. And I like, you can hear the thoughts and the intro being how it is. But yeah, it's fun, it's crazy, but yeah, I don't know. Like I keep saying, I don't know. This is just a fun, mad series that is like unapologetically crazy in the best way possible. I am watching more of like season like, not right now, but I'm going to watch more. Definitely, like I keep saying, I'm going on holiday soon. So I'm going to use this to watch it on the plane. And this is a series I'm like, I love this. And this is why I think anime is both amazing and crazy in the best way possible. And I hope you enjoy it, and good night. So who will say yes? And who will say no? And how many episodes have we just asked a question at this point? Quick update though. This is the main jacket that I'm going to use because it's comfortable, it's nice, and it's really easy to put on and off. I'm not going to transfer my clips because I don't know which one I can and can't, and that's just confusing. But I'm going to transfer on this day and the reviews because YouTube, TikTok has this, and that's easy. But with this, carrying on with this. This is fun and insane. With all like the stuff of like, we're going to persuade you that we're going to make a whole episode. We're going to make like 3 whole seasons of it. And I know, yeah, there is a season 4 coming up, which I think only doesn't have that many episodes, like 4. But like, just ask. But it's really fun and insane, I think, because of that. Because of that insanity. It knows what it is, and it's fine with it. The one thing I like, though, is because midway through, there is a student election, which I can't comment about how accurate it is, but the one thing I like, and this is the fun part, is at a certain point, it was like, the main character, and yes, I'm bad with names, is like winning. Landslide. It's like clearly he's gonna win. His opponent, who becomes more of a character, is sort of like losing and is in this moment of frustration. But rather than having her be left there, he actually comes up, picks up the mic, and does a full debate and sort of like helps her not win, because he still does win, but sort of like become more stable and more calm. And that, I think, is honourable for someone to be like, I could just do nothing and win, but I'm not, because that's disrespectful. I'm going to go in and actually help this person with this thing. And it's like, yeah, But yeah, this is really cool, really fun, and yeah, I just like it because of how chaotic it is. But I definitely would recommend. But I hope you enjoy, and good night. So this is nearly over. Let's continue the madness. So yeah, this exists. I like it. There's not much to really add on to for the non-spoiler part. So this is going to be even less than a minute. But I do like how the characters improve during this. There definitely are some moments where you feel the connection within the characters. But what I want to talk about more is more specifically the things, let me just point to it, the things connected to this thing here. So why don't I go ahead and start talking about that? So this deals with, I had to re-record this twice. One, because I said something stupid, and the second one, because my iPad was like 10%, and I feel like I have to tell you by disconnecting the recording. But besides the point, this thing here. It is with, like, the school festival. And do I like it with, like, oh, what classes they do? But I like the idea that at a certain point, because there's 2 points I love. One is, way before this, is the read-receive message little segment. Where it's like, oh, I'm going to read it. And it's like, oh, no. She doesn't know about read-receive. I'm like, oh, yes. This is the first time I've been like, oh, how is she going to get up? Because, like, everyone knows what happens if I open a message on this. That's why on WhatsApp it's amazing, because you get to look at the message and not say you've read it. Notifications! I can look at the message and then pretend like I didn't. It's very, very interesting. But I like the idea that she didn't, so she read it. But she just, I'm going to look at it later. But it's an instant read received. So it's like instant. Obviously, if the phone's open naturally and you're just sleeping and you slept with the phone open, obviously it would read receive and you wouldn't be able to say that you didn't notice it. That's why I like the idea that he sent it to another group chat and then sent it back and then called. And then that was the moment where I was like, oh, is he? And then she was like, oh, no, sorry, that was me. And I was like, I like, that was so close. But that leads to, more importantly, the whole mystery he pulls off. With the balloons, we're trying to get this thing organized. We're trying to do this thing. I also like the idea that he knows that one of his friends is really interested in mysteries. So he just changes a bunch of locks to absolute meaningless nonsense. So that she will be preoccupied throughout his entire thing. She would not care. And I like he did the same for like a couple others. Like he's like put them in specific places so specific things would play out, which is clever. I just like that. It's his thing of finally like, because they have a thing about like giving a heart that means a certain thing. I also like the very hilarious thing that like sort of like tech person was like, didn't know about the thing, gave a heart, and was like, oh yeah, that's probably makes sense. And then later when he sees the player, it's like, oh fuck. I didn't mean that, I just wanted to give you something nice. Shit. Which is the most hilarious thing of like, oh. I also like when you get into it, you finally have these two being like, yeah. And I like at the end, because you've had another thing which is going along. He goes to America to sort of like take a year abroad to like do more studying. I also like the idea that he's like, join me, come with me. And I find it so fun because of that. I like those, I should be going to bed because it's midnight. But this is really fun and really entertaining. And it's one of the most insane things that I feel like you should watch. This is also going to be small. It's basically, this is fun. I said why in like the mysteries, and I definitely like that season because of this. Again, I said this in I think the other review. This is just a weird show with the idea of love being war. Love is full love. Question mark. I don't get it. I don't, but it's fun nonetheless. I think the idea is just really interesting in that insane vibey way. So I hope you enjoy and good night. So let's finally have an end to this war. So yeah, this is Love and War. Love and War. Love and War. Aw. Love is War. And it's basically it's 4 episodes, and it basically is what I think just a little bit more on season 3. I think I kind of preferred where season 3 ended, because that sort of like, oh well, it won't it, and it's sort of like leaving it there. It's like, I'm fine with it, but this exists, so I'm not gonna complain. It's fine for what it is, but yeah. The one thing I do like though about this is earlier on there was this whole thing about like different versions of her in her mind and reacting, and it's like the whole season is based on like all of that. And I like the idea is like, oh, I'm a bit more colder than he thinks, so he won't love me, which I love as an idea. And I also love, at a certain point, the narrator's like, by the way, this isn't real. This is not how, like, the thing, like, this is not how, like, this part of the mind isn't, we don't have this, like, this is normal, we just have normal reality, we're just showing you how someone's processing their mind, and it's fun, where they'll be like, oh yeah, this is normal, just roll with it anyway. And I'm like, just break the fourth wall like that, but I just love it. I don't know if this is in season 4 or season 3, we also do a similar thing where, like, I think it is in season 4, when she becomes a bit exhausted, and I think that's because of the kiss, she chibiifies. But, like, it's like, oh, this is not how she really looks. She just looks like... But in the show, very show, like this chibi version. And it's like, we're just gonna show you this, because why not? It's like, this is not how it actually looks, but who cares? Which is fun. But yeah, I do like this. I kind of just prefer how season 3 ended, but this is fun. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and good night.